Welcome to Read It and Screech. Oh, bitch. Welcome to Read It and Screech.
Fuck off. Mountains made of glass. You gave me nothing.
The very top part.
Oh.
Welcome to Read It and Screech.
The podcast for the fuck of it.
Plot summary podcast. The podcast where if you've been told that you're too loud and you have no standards, you can come sit with us. I'm Grace and this is my co-host, Eva.
You know how Marshmallow wore a helmet the whole time?
Oh, yes.
That's him.
And our notoriety rivaling that of the world famous DJ Marshmello. Yes, us and Marshmello. We're the ones who could get away with that. We're the ones who made it all the way to the top.
Okay, first off, he wasn't famous immediately. Why do you want to be famous so bad?
I don't want to be famous. I want to make enough money from this side hustle to go to Disney World.
Very, very specific.
I want to be able to buy one of those good apples and not sweat the cash.
God.
I want to swipe a card and not panic at Disney. Say your goddamn name. Welcome to the podcast. If you'd like to support, you can rate, review, and subscribe.
Don't.
You can find us on TikTok at ScreeterPod. So far, we've been alternating between fantasy and thriller as our genre. However, we are looking to add to that twosome, a threesome. So if you would like to vote in the poll for what the new genre should be, I'm thinking mafia, rom-com, maybe Why Choose will be in there. Because all of these are ones I hate. I hate all of these. But, you know, that's the point, reading and screeching. And so you can vote in the poll for what genre we should add into the rotation. Add a little bit of spice.
A little bit of flavor.
The second comment I need to make before we get started is that from now on, we did, I think, just one indie author at the very beginning, and we shit on her a little bit. And indie authors have it hard enough. So going forward, we're going to try to only do published authors who've already gotten paid for whatever it is that we're going to be summarizing, because I don't need to shit on indie authors who already have a hard time in their lives.
And I don't agree, because equal fights, equal rights.
Well, I mean, if it's really bad, if it's like,
If you wrote something,
If
if
it's
you
a
put
se-
it out there for consumption, and it is horrible.
no, if it's a sex crime, we'll shit on it. We'll shit on
If
it
you
for
sex
sure.
crimed some underage people,
It is
then
a
you
light-
deserve
it's
the
a
shit
light
that's coming
ban.
your way.
It's a what do they call it? Like a light boundary, where if it's criminal,
Also,
we'll shit on
like-
it. There was a lady on TikTok, and she's an indie author, and I don't think her stuff was very good, but she was trying really hard, and she was crying because people were talking about how indie authors aren't real authors and stuff. I don't think that's true.
Here's the thing.
I think you're an author.
You also don't need to cry because of what people on the internet said about you.
That's also correct. She was like 40. When we did the Trial of the Sun Queen, I thought that was a pretty solid summary that we did. However, the author was an indie author and she was a woman of color. And I just felt like the
yay.
dump that we took maybe was a little bit
Here's the
too
thing.
aggressive.
I enjoyed that thoroughly.
I did, though. I liked it. But I did feel bad because I don't want to discourage people from supporting smaller authors and people of color who already,
Read
know,
it
have
if you want to
challenges.
read it.
You can shit right back. It's fine.
I do think that, though. Whenever I think about it, I'm like, somebody could shit right back at me and I would be fine with it.
You could also hate this. That's fine.
I would be perfectly
Girl,
fine.
get at it.
As long as you don't say something like, if we try really hard to lean in the
If
way
I
of,
try
like-
really hard and you hate my try,
No, like if someone said like, you guys are racist, I would be a little bit offended because I'd be like, I'll be hurt. I'd say like, what did I do? But marrying a
Also-
black man wasn't enough.
all right. Also, why do you think that?
So we're covering a book. It is called Mountains Made of Glass. It's by Scarlett St. Clair. 219 pages, 6 hours, 11 minutes, 3.8 on Goodreads. The narrators did a pretty good job.
No spit bubbles.
No spit bubbles. It is dual first person point of view, but it doesn't alternate every single chapter, so there's not a ton of flip flopping. It's easy to keep track of. I fucking loved it.
You say that every time.
I know. It's not. I'm easy to please. Ask my husband. No, I loved it. I thought the characters were silly. It was a really fun read, and it was a retelling of a Grimm fairy tale, so it wasn't just like the typical kind of Disney retelling that kind of is more popular now. Oh my god, I fucking loved it. I wanted it to be longer.
There's nothing you don't like.
That's not wrong.
I'm aware.
I literally put in my notes, no more shitting on indie authors. They have had it bad enough. ... Unless ...
Sex crime.
So I'll introduce 4 of the main characters. We have Gisela. She's the female protagonist. She is descendant of a fae, but she's mostly human. Fae.
No.
She has no money and no prospects and is already a burden to her
You are-
dead parents.
Yes. You need to get a new hobby
Other than Pride and Prejudice from 2005.
other than Fae books with Pride and Prejudice references.
You know what? I put a fucking poll in the comments so that we can get a new genre to read instead of Fae. There's a mafia book that Lando tried me to get to listen to with
Try
him.
me to get to.
And he tried to listen to it in the car when we were driving somewhere. And it
They're
like
so
there was
funny,
a
bro.
sex scene like right
They're
off
so-
the bat. And he said that he unleashed his load into
The
her.
fact that
and
they-
I can't get down with
The
that.
fact that they have grown men who are like acting like middle school boys is the funniest thing ever.
I can't do it. Okay, so we have our main character, Gisela. She's descendant of a fae, but she's mostly human. She basically wished her whole family dead when she was a kid, so she feels guilty about that all the time. We have Casimir. He is the Thorn Prince, and he's under a curse from the Glass Mountains. This will make sense later. We have the Human Prince, who is imprisoned on his way to get a golden apple from the Glass Mountains. He must bring the apple back to the daddy of a princess that he wants to marry so that he can have her hand. And then we have the magical mirror. It was split into 7 pieces by the Fae King. One was given to each of his elf sons. They use elf and Fae interchangeably. And he has a very sassy personality.
They don't all live in one castle, do they?
No.
Okay.
Like Love Island. Gisela lives in a weird little village called the Village of Elk. It is, guess where?
Hell.
On the edge of the cursed woods where the Fae live.
Ah!
In the Village of Elk, there are random curses that pop up, and they have to sacrifice a villager to
Oh,
make them
there
go
it
away.
is. Gotta toss them bodies in there. Kill them.
So the governors of all these little villages use this as an excuse to off people they don't like.
Yep.
Like, here's a curse, boop, and there's a sacrifice to it. So the well is dried up, and Gisela says, well, I don't really give a fuck because I don't use the community well, so good luck with your dry well. And they say, too bad. The governor says that if you marry him, he won't sacrifice you to fix this curse.
Sacrifice me. I don't want to fuck you.
She says, I would vomit the second your cock entered me.
Oh my god, why did you find me?
He says,
Me too.
well, that's really rude of you. So he throws her in the well. Down in the well, there's a toad.
The toad on the log and the bump in the
She almost lands on the toad, but doesn't. He screeches and then hoppity hops
Me too.
to show her a way that she can escape out of the well. After he leads her out, he keeps on screeching, like us, and trying to hop back down into the cursed well. She says, don't go back in the well. And he says, "Where?" And then he keeps trying to hop back into it.
Let me go.
And so she smashes him with a rock, and then she has a little frog funeral for him.
You can't leave, but you can't stay here. Crunch.
I reread it several times to make sure I got the turn of events correct, and I did. So she wakes up in the middle of the night, and there are 5 elven princes around her bed.
Oh my god, this is Court of Thorns and Roses.
It's Twilight. They're in her room in the middle of the night staring at her.
Oh.
It's Twilight.
It's not-
They're pissy because she killed their toad brother.
That's Akatar.
No, it's not, because he says they say he would have transformed into a prince and made her his queen if she had only smooched him.
Akatar.
That's not from Akatar.
Yeah, they killed the.
It's from the Frog Prince.
She killed in Akatar. She kills the fucking dude at the beginning and skinned
I have
him.
read
They
it
ate him,
multiple
and that was a
times.
person.
Yes, she did not skin and eat this toad. She smashed him on the head with a rock, and she was supposed to kiss him.
Yeah, well, he wanted to go back in the well. He didn't want to kiss her. He was like, "This ugly bitch."
Right? He didn't even try. He was like, no.
Bye, girl.
You know?
No, thank you.
So 5 handsome men immediately banish her to the 7th brother's kingdom.
5 of them, 1 squished dead guy, 7th dude. Okay.
They banish her to his kingdom, which is the Thorn Kingdom. They say she's got to be there for 6 years. 1 for each of the ones that's still alive, I guess.
Names.
Yeah.
Numbers, I mean.
They teleport her right then and there into his bedroom because they have no boundaries.
And where is he? Why is he not like, no thank you?
He's in the Thorn Kingdom.
And he had no say. He wasn't there.
Yeah,
he
he
didn't
doesn't really fuck with them.
So they were like, here's a girlfriend.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, basically. Well, basically later on, you learn that they like regenerate. So even though technically she killed him, he's not gone forever.
Is he the squished one?
No. The squished one is squished.
So he didn't regenerate.
He will at some point. So they're not losing sleep over it, but they're like, that was kind of cunty of you to smash him. So
This is
yeah.
something.
The seventh brother,
It's not bad, but it's something.
the seventh brother
It's
is Casimir.
It's not Alan.
It's not Alan. The seventh brother is Casimir. He's actually quite civil to her, considering the fact that she intruded on him in his bedroom and he didn't know she was coming.
Didn't see you there.
They are immediately super horny for each other.
No.
And he can tell that she is partially Fae. He tells her that if she can guess his name in 1 week, he will let her go and not make her live out her whole sentence with him.
It's not Alan.
It's not Eva. He says if she guesses wrong, he will add a year per wrong answer.
Oh, man. I was about to be like, Bob, Rob,
Right.
Trevor.
Right. He says he didn't know she was coming, and so she must be a distraction from his brothers. She is dirty
That's
and
what she
smelly
said.
and indignant. He wants to watch her bathe, and she says no. She says, I would rather die. So he sets these creepy, bloody garden gnomes on her, and they throw rocks at her. She changes her tune when they throw rocks at her and says, fine, I will wash my ass for you.
What's that Jason Aldean song? Try that in a small town.
Try that in a gnome town.
Welcome to Alabama, bitch. Give me a chair.
He tells her, don't bother trying to escape because I would stalk you through the afterlife. She barricades the door and goes to sleep.
I don't know that I would do that.
Casimir is immediately horny for her, and he is musing in front of his silver magic mirror about his swollen cock.
Oh, no.
The mirror is low-key a perv and says it's going to watch him wank off.
Oh.
Then he interrupts the alone time to hand over the rest of the plot.
Okay.
They talk about how he needs to be set free and that because she is flesh and blood, she can do it. He's been waiting 10 years to be set free. Apparently, if someone can't guess his name within a week, he will be forgotten forever. The mirror mocks him for being horny for the girl who killed his brother. But he says, I don't give a fuck.
Me too, though.
He says, I don't give a fuck. He'll probably just respawn anyway.
Oh my God.
The mirror tattles that the weird governor was the one who threw her in the well. And he finally...
He's off to kill the governor.
No, he finally gets his wank in.
Ah!
And
He winks to the idea of the governor.
So you find out that the reason he was cursed is because...
Of the governor?
No, he like fucked this girl but he didn't want to be with her. He just wanted to fuck her, but she fell in love with him.
So
And he
every
was
boy in
like-
high school?
Yeah. He said, nah, girl, I'm good. And so like her mom put a curse on him.
Okay, weird.
Hilarious. Okay. Gisela wakes up the next day. Casimir gives her a little handmaiden to help her get ready and help her
Not what I thought you were
navigate
gonna
her
say.
life there. A little handy. Did
Yeah,
you
I
say
thought
a
you
little
were gonna
handy?
say a little hand.
No. He gives her a handmaiden to help her out. He tells her she can walk around all she wants, but she can't leave the castle grounds. He tells her his human name, which is Casimir, but his Fae name is the one that she has to guess. She tricks him into telling her how many letters are in his real name. She goes for a walk and she sees a selkie in a dirty pond on the grounds. So a selkie is a type of...
I know what it is.
Well, I didn't, so I'm going to tell the readers. Well, you tell me what a selkie is.
It depends on which lore you're going by, because Japanese...
No.
No? Okay.
It's a seal.
It's usually, though, a type of mermaid.
Yeah, so it's a seal, and then it can transform into a human, but it has to keep its skin nearby. Because if you take its skin, it can't turn back into a seal.
Right.
She sees the selkie. He's in his human form. He's naked in the middle of the pond and has a raging boner.
Sounds like everybody, apparently.
He tries to seduce her with his little song, but she shoves dirt into her ears and then snatches his skin away from the bank of the pond. She uses it to bargain for info from him. He tells her to ask the mountains for the real name of Casimir. Apparently, only lovers can learn elves' true names. So she has to either fall in love with him so she can learn his name, or she will have to go the roundabout way to learn it. She says she's not supposed to leave the grounds. And the selkie says, well, come back tomorrow And like Red Bull, I will give you wings. He says, I like your spunk and I will continue to help me. Just
You
take
know what
me.
spunk is, right? It's another word for semen.
Oh, he says, I like your spunk and I will continue to help
You gotta
you.
stop saying that.
He says, I like your sperm. He says, I will continue to help
should
you.
say I like your tenacity.
He says, I like your tenacity. And I will continue to help you. Just take me to the ocean if you ever get out of here. The mirror humbles Casimir, telling me he doesn't know shit about
I'm
shit.
sorry. I would have felt humbled the first time he interacted with that thing. You was like, got your hand out your drawers? That's not humbling enough. God. Holy hell.
That was such a good book.
Like the fuck? What was more humbling than that experience?
Oh, just
I
wait.
can see you. Like the fuck? Get your hand out of your pants, man. Get that wiener. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna watch you while you. Oh, humbled. Humbled in what way? Because that's incredibly demoralizing. Goddamn.
He tells him he doesn't know shit about shit and he will never get anyone to love him. He says, go use that prince you captured as a therapist and see if he'll help you learn to love.
Why would I talk to the wank mirror and listen to that advice and
know,
be
right?
like, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the Weasley human
Right.
wank mirror and get advice from him when you could just tell me what you
Right.
clearly already know.
So he
Fuck
does.
outta here.
He goes to talk to the
Bitch.
prince and they have a fuckboy face off.
See, horrible.
The prince says, tell her she's pretty. That should do the trick. Casimir says, if it doesn't work, I'm going to shave your head. Gisela gets out of the bath and the only thing available to wear is a sheer robe.
Oh, yikes.
And he's watching her. She says,
Which is worse, putting that on or just walking around naked?
yes.
I think I might have just refused to wear that and been like, well, here it is.
I don't know. I prefer the gown. It would make me feel a semblance
No,
of
because
covered.
If I wore the gown, I would feel like I was contributing to like the sensuality of it. If I refused to wear it, I would feel like I was protesting it monumentally.
Well,
I would be like, I couldn't find anything to wear.
she asks why he's always watching her because he's not even a lover. And he says, but I could be, girl.
Ah,
He does give her a
for
regular
the
dress.
small price of nothing.
He does give her a regular dress and they go to dinner.
See? He would have given her a regular dress faster if she had worn nothing.
Maybe so.
He had been like, I couldn't find anything to wear. Give me your shirt.
She asks why the Selkie's there, like stuck in that weird dirty pond. And he says it's because he was luring people away to the sea all the time. So Casimir returned the favor and then tossed him in the pond.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that he was using him for something.
No. He tells her she's pretty with hefty eye contact. And she says, ew, why do you look so mad? And throws her drink on him. He chooses this moment to ask her about the bruises that she got when she was thrown into the well by that weird governor. And she glazes over the whole story about killing his frog brother. And then asks him if he blames her for it.
She's
And-
like, oh, no big deal. This guy threw me down a well. And he's like, funny, I have a brother who likes to sleep in wells. Coincidentally.
After dinner, there's a party. Everyone is dancing and drinking fairy wine.
Oh my God, what the fairy wine?
She wakes up hungover the next day and her feet are all fucked up from dancing all night. Nevertheless, she persists. The Selkie says, never mind, I'm not going to help you get to the mountains.
Fuck off, bitch.
But then he does decide to help her.
What's the point of saying he wouldn't then?
I know. Just cut the bowl.
Why does everything have to be hard?
Right. That's what she said. He summons his friend, the Raven, and they tell her to drink from the pond.
Ew.
And that she will shrink, and that
Alice in Wonderland.
yes, it will shrink her to the size that will fit onto the Raven. He flies her to the mountain, and she knocks on it and asks.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Is the Selkie not pissing in this pond?
I don't think that he could piss with the boner. I've heard.
He's had a
I've heard that guys.
I'm
can-
sorry, this man has had a boner for his whole life in this pond,
Maybe that's
and
his.
he's never peed.
Maybe that's his curse. No, he probably did piss in it, and she probably did
That's what
drink
she's
it.
drinking, and this is what's making her shrink. Then
Let
his
me finish.
pee?
Everything. Just trust the process. Okay.
This is the process that I need to know.
He flies her to the mountain. She knocks on it and asks the name of Casimir. The mountain responds, "Bring 3 hairs from his head, and I will tell you."
Bitch, I just came from there.
One thing I really,
Are you fucking with me right now?
something I literally love about this book.
This is some Princess and the Pea bullshit. I was just
Yeah.
there. I'm not coming back.
I love that
3
everything.
hairs from his brush.
Every destination in this whole book is like 30 minutes away.
Honestly, I
And I
really
love
thought
that.
you were going to say, bring me 3 tablespoons of his seed. Like,
I mean, I
don't
wouldn't
want-
put it past her.
honestly, I don't want to do that. 3
Mhm.
tablespoons of his seed in a goat skin. Fuck off.
She gets back to the pond. She drinks the pond water again and immediately throws up because it's disgusting. It probably has some piss in it. The Selkie tells her you should have just swallowed that barf instead of yakking it into the pond.
Yeah, because I have to swim in it now.
He says, like,
Thanks a lot.
there's like a bunch of little sprites and fairies and stuff all around the grounds. And he's like, you just yacked into their / our pond. That's gross.
Fuck off.
Casimir is butthurt that calling her pretty didn't work. And the mirror rightfully tells him, maybe you shouldn't have set those weird gnomes on her when she first got here, and then she wouldn't have been so put off by you. The mirror calls him an idiot and tells him to try a picnic while Casimir walks around with a boner.
Oh my god, why does everyone have a boner all the time?
Boner alert. Casimir says, nah, I'll just go ask that jail prince again what else I can do.
He already wants to be best friends with the jail prince and not
Mhm.
you anymore, boner mirror.
Right? He makes a pit stop on the way to ask the prince for more love advice to smell Gisella's robe. And she walks in on him doing this.
No, he was gonna rub his wiener on it.
They go back and forth for a little bit and then he kisses her. And some keywords from that are sought purchase,
What?
wet heat,
No!
and heavy cock.
Ugh.
She says, okay, you're talking ruined this, but if you tell me a letter of your name, I'll give you a blowjob.
A whole blowjob for one letter? I feel like she could have leveraged most of his entire, if
Well-
not his entire name for that.
She says, I'll give you 1 orgasm for each letter of your name. He is sad that she only wants his body, but he does take the blowjob.
Can his name be like Ty? What's the shortest name I can think of?
Pat? No, his name
What's-
has 7 letters.
I'm not doing 7 of those. Sorry.
Gisela now has the hairs.
Gisela now has a really long job.
Not specified is where the hairs are from on his body.
She said hairs from you said head hair. I was gonna ask if it was pube hair.
Just you wait.
Told you it was gonna be 3 tablespoons of sperm.
She goes back to the Selkie, horny all the way. She says, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm horny for this weird prince. The Selkie holds her underwater and tries to mug her for the strands of hair.
Why does the Selkie want him?
He's just a scheming dude.
He's like, if I take him to the mountain, maybe they'll let me.
Basically, he's like,
Bro,
well, he's basically like, oh, the mountain wants hair. I'll give it some hair.
give it your own hair, weirdo.
She drinks the pond water during their altercation, and the raven swoops in and picks her up. He says that he helped her because if she figures out how to break curses, she might be able to turn him back into a wolf because he used to be a wolf.
And being a raven sucks.
Mm-hmm. They get back to the mountain, and she feeds the hair to the mountain.
Ugh.
The mountain is mad because one of the hairs was a fucking pubic hair.
Told you it was gonna be you. I knew that from the beginning. I was like, you said head hairs, and one of these is gonna be ass hair. Oh my god.
So it eats her fucking finger.
And I feel like that's fair. She only has 9 fingers now. Oh my god, I would not be happy with that trade-off, honestly. This man's ass hair for one of my fingers?
Well, she lied. She tells the mountain.
How did she get those confused, honestly?
Tells the mountain, here's 3 hairs. And the mountain goes, this isn't a head hair.
God. How could it tell?
You think you could tell?
Or was it in such a hurry to eat it, it just grabbed all the hairs and a finger?
Do you feel
Was it just like, ow? And it grabbed a finger, like when your puppy gets excited when you're giving it a treat.
basically?
Ow! It grabbed all of it.
She is so embarrassed that the raven saw her feed the mountain a pubic hair.
Not in front of my fur friends. Gosh. What the fuck?
I love this book. I love it. It's I want to get it tattooed on my body.
This is so weird.
When they get back to the castle, Casimir is there with the Selkie skin in one hand and the Selkie's head in the other. She is tired and embarrassed and collapses into his arms.
She did not collapse into his arms because his arms were full.
Casimir tries his best to give her a there pat on the head.
But his hands are full.
Yeah. She is so angry about all of this. He wants to know what happened to her finger. So
Yeah.
she has to tell him about the hairs.
Oh my god.
Says, what the fuck? We could have just done the blowjob for a letter thing, and eventually that would have worked for all the letters. It turns out the mountain didn't even know his name. It was just fucking with her.
Oh my god! It just was hungry for fingers.
He sucks on her hand, and it grows her a new finger.
That is one of the worst things I've ever heard.
The ick.
Honestly, what's worse? The mirror that watched him with his hands down his drawers, or him sucking on her finger and it growing back. I don't know which is worse.
She asked what he's going to do with the Selkie head, and he says he's going to plant it and see what grows, and that the skin is going to be added to his personal skin collection. Gisela goes to take another bath. Thank God. The handmaiden tells her the whole thing about him having a curse and her needing to fall in love with
A
him.
little late for that, but okay.
Right? She says, not only do you have to guess his name, but you also have to fall in love with him. If not, he will fade away forever.
I'm cool with that.
He was cursed by the mountains.
Yeah, the one that
And,
just ate his pubic hair. That's why they're bad.
Basically. And so basically, if no one says his name and guesses his name, he'll fade away and he'll get fairy dementia and then just wither away.
First off, I have fairy dementia. It's not as bad as it seems.
Some bells lure her to the forest, and the fairies on the ground play a nasty trick on her, making it look like her dead family's in the woods. They do this to get revenge on her for vomiting in the pond. Casimir goes to look for her because she's in distress.
She ruined our only good drinking water.
Your only good drinking water was the one with
Spoiled for a fortnight.
the Selkie with a boner in it. That was your only good drinking water.
There's a 2-foot Selkie boner in that water. We're still drinking it.
Find that hard to believe. So Casimir goes to find her because she's in distress, and they both accidentally huff some horny fairy dust. They both hump ferociously in the woods.
Saying they both means
Each other.
sounds like
Each other.
sounds like other people.
I realized that they hump each other ferociously in the woods all night. The next morning, they have the most awkward walk home ever. He offers her another letter of his name in payment.
Uber.
No. He offers her another letter of his name in payment
A
for the
little late
sexy
for that.
times. Right?
Also, didn't you say one perk? Don't I get a few?
I was wondering that. I'm like,
Bitch.
he only had one orgasm. They fucked all night. Okay.
Fucking liar.
She
I'd be
finds
like, I want
this-
them all right now. Give it to me.
She finds this embarrassing and slaps him immediately.
I would have been like, that was a full evening of rompous fun. Give me your whole name, you rotten whore.
Mhm.
I want to go home.
Casimir.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Do that back quick. Keep hunting. Oh, gross. Casimir is confused, and he seeks out
Okay.
he seeks out the prince for more advice. The prince is all out of ideas.
Fresh out.
He is confused that a single compliment and saving her from the Selkie did not work.
And humping on the side.
The prince asks, "What did you do after you saved her?" Casimir replies, "What do you think I did? I fucked her in the woods all night."
Oh my god.
The prince clutches his pearls because they are not man and wife, and he tries to slut shame the both of them. Casimir says, "Shut up, virgin."
How old are these people?
Like 1,000.
Oh my god.
The prince says, "Okay, but is this all about making her like you, or do you actually like her?" That's something for Casimir to
Food
think
for
about while he walks around with his boners.
Oh my god.
Gisela snoops around in Casimir's room, and she meets the mirror. And the mirror drops some hints to her, but doesn't tell her the name. Casimir makes her eat dinner with him, and she decides she's suddenly not too good to do the sexual favors for letters again.
Oh my gosh.
So he makes her serve him dinner naked while he has a raging heavy boner.
Oh, I just want to ask the author of the book, who hurt you?
I just want to thank her.
Who hurt you? And why do you love the word boner so much? Who made you crawl around for every letter of the word boner? So many fucking times.
He goes down on her right there on the table.
Oh, I hate that. I hate those.
I
I hate food
I knew you
ones.
would.
Ah.
She tries to make him go all the way with her, and he says no because he's tired of being used only for his body.
Why? You didn't mind when the mirror was watching.
Gisela is embarrassed again, obviously. She grabs an axe and heads to his room. Not sure if she's going to kill him or try to fuck him again.
With
She-
an axe.
She will decide on the way.
We should sodomize him with the axe.
Oh no, let's do that. Let's try that take again. Let's not use the word sodomy. You just said she's taking the axe. She's not sure she's gonna kill him or fuck him with it. I don't know what else
She
it is.
doesn't know if she's gonna kill him with the axe or fuck him with her body.
That's not what it sounded
Well,
like.
let's try that again. Gisela is embarrassed again, obviously. She grabs an axe and heads to his room. She's not sure if she's gonna kill him with the axe or try to fuck him with her body. She will decide on the way.
I'm not sure why you take an axe for that.
She gets on the bed and she straddles him and she
No.
like holds the axe to his neck.
No.
And she's like, I'm gonna cut off one of your heads. I haven't decided which one. And I thought he was gonna say what I've read many times where they're like, if you cut off my penis, you won't have your favorite part of my body anymore. And I hate that. And a lot of authors will write that into their book somehow. And he says, if you kill me, you won't get what you came for. Because he knows she's trying to fuck. And I thought that was smooth jazz.
How's that not the same thing?
I don't know. It was just better. It wasn't like, oh, if you cut my dick off, you won't have my favorite body part because you love my dick so much. You know, some authors write that. And he just said, if you kill me, you won't get what you came for because he knows she came to fuck. Because he knows he's good at fucking.
That is gross.
I didn't say it wasn't gross. She licks him from, quote, root to tip. He is hard and soft at the same time.
No.
They make tender love.
No.
He asks what happened to her family. And she says that her blood killed her mom.
Now is not the time.
I know. And that her dad.
Excuse me. Ask me about my dad while your wiener's in my mouth.
It's like a name tag. Ask me about my dad.
Ask me about my wiener.
Have you seen that? The very last time Jonah Hill was funny. You mean? She says that.
While she's licking his wiener.
No, this is after they made tender
Not
love.
what you just sounded like.
I did.
The
I
way
said-
you said that.
I said she licked him root to tip.
Asked about his dad. That sounded like the same breath.
He was hard and soft at the same time. They make tender love.
It
Period.
sounds like that's happening at the same time. Like
It is a
she's
little
doing
bit.
that, and he's like, "How's your dad?
And he's making tender love.
How's your dad? I got one titty in my mouth. How's your dad?
She says that her blood killed her mom and that then her dad died of heartbreak. Gisela said that she wished that her sister was dead because her sister,
good.
yeah, her older sister had told her to stop dancing with the fairies in the woods because she used to do that when she was little. And she got so mad that she said she wished she was dead. Immediately, the sister turned into a deer and bounded off into the forest. Gisela looked for her for 7 years. On the very last day of the 6th year, she found her under a willow tree. Immediately after she found her under the willow tree, the deer sister was struck by an arrow. The arrow hit her in the boob,
In the boob.
the breast. Insult to injury. The roots of the willow tree swallowed her up while she was dying from the wound to her breast.
Damn, that's crazy.
Casimir says, oh, that's good news. Because that means that the tree decided to heal her. And that means that she's not dead, only sleeping. They get up the next day to go look for the sister. And the mirror says while they're getting ready to leave,
Proud
damn,
woman.
Casimir, you've gotten a lot better at fucking since the last time I watched you have sex. Indicating that the mirror was watching them fuck.
No, I got that. Thank you. I just hated it.
Casimir says, oh, just ignore him. He does that. The mirror says, yeah, no big deal. I've been watching him hump for years.
The mirror says, yeah, I'm a casting couch director and I'm gross. Don't mind me.
So she says, well, how many women have you been having sex with recently then? Casimir has been proudly wanking himself off alone for 9 years. They find the sleepy sister. She's still asleep.
How old is she?
She's suspended in the same age as the,
Ooh!
but she was older than the girl. So she was like a young adult. when
Great.
this
Is she going to end
happened.
up with one of the brothers?
Probably. I don't know. This is book 1 of many.
She's Sleeping Beauty then.
Yes, I gathered. What is this one? Do you know?
Snow White.
I'm pretty sure it's Rumpelstiltskin.
Why is it Rumpelstiltskin?
Just to guess his name.
Oh, there was an apple. That's Snow White though.
Yeah, but that's the secondary prince character. Doesn't nothing to do with it.
Okay. It's a little bit Beauty and the Beast, a little bit Snow White, a little bit Rumpelstiltskin.
Mhm. Casimir goes back to the prince and realizes that he loves Gisela for sure. He also realizes
Rumpelstiltskin doesn't have a girlfriend.
no, he's also not sexy and have a raging boner all the
I
time.
believe that they did make him attractive in several of them.
But did he have a heavy boner?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
I just picture like a weighted blanket. Casimir realizes that the prince is low-key a POS who just wants to be king. He doesn't actually want to be with the princess he's on his way to get this apple for. He also realizes
he can stop being a little bitch and just hang out with Gisela instead of wasting away the last few days before he gets fairy dementia. They go on a romantic picnic and hump in a field.
Oh my gosh. This is how everyone gets Lyme disease.
Yeah. She realizes that she wants him to love her and that she loves him back. So she goes on a walk to brainstorm what his name might be. Right when she figures out what it is, this mega fuckboy prince sneaks up on her and pretends to laugh it off in the ickiest way possible. Like he tries to sneak up on her and he's like, oh, LOL, it was
Fancy
a joke.
meeting you here.
Right. He calls her a fey fucker and takes her hostage to try to make her take him to the Glass Mountains so he can get that apple he's been trying to get. He has bribed some rude ass pixies to help him with his plan. They drink the dirty pond water and she calls her crow friend. Crow friend can see what's up with the little fucking fuckboy prince, and he swoops in, picks him up, and then drops the wee prince from the sky, letting a hawk scoop him up and eat him.
Is that what happens in Jack and the Beanstalk?
I don't know, probably. She smooshes the little rude pixies in her hand like bugs. Casimir finally finds her after she went through all of this by herself, and they smooch. She tells him his name. She's figured it out. His name is Anguish. Did you think you would have guessed that?
No, my guess was booty.
And they're happy ever after.
Our little pizza forever.
She goes back to that village that tried to throw her in the well.
Oh my god.
Or that successfully threw her in the well. Casimir is cosplaying as her dress. They arrive right as her only friend from before is exiting this church after marrying the weird governor. Casimir slithers off her body, and she stands there nude as he kills all the people that threw her in the well.
What the fuck?
The
Why?
end. That was the best thing I've read this year.
Cosplaying as a piece of fabric. You lost me there. Why would you do that?
I don't know. She was trying to sneak him into this wedding reception.
You couldn't just walk in as an adult man?
No.
I brought a +1 to your wedding,
And
friend.
the crown that she wears is made of the wings of the pixies that she smooshed with her hands.
The fuck?
Where are they now?
Naked at that wedding, apparently.
Here's the thing. They were the most likable characters because they were both very awkward and cute together. It was adorable. I feel like they are married and childless by choice. I feel like they get trips to Disney World financed. I feel like everyone rate, reviews, and subscribes to them.
They're just randomly, they're like those strange old people that live on a commune, and then they randomly sometimes go to Walmart and he cosplays as her overalls, and she's sometimes she's like, wait, I need to try something on, and he slithers off.
Where's the Frog Brother? I think the Frog Brother is waiting at the
Frog
base of the willow
Brother.
tree for that girl to wake up.
No. The Frog Brother went in 2 more revolutions of the earth to respawn.
Which of them is working at Walgreens?
Not everyone has to work at Walgreens.
Well, you started it.
No.
I feel like that friend. So they kill like a bunch of people at the wedding, but they keep the friend alive. And the friend is the one that came to herald the good news that she was the next to be
I
sacrificed
feel like
into
the
the well.
friend went and married the Toad Brother.
Oh no, she's working at Walgreens.
Why?
Almost.
She already had married the gross governor.
Yeah, but he got killed.
Right. So
now
why does she have to work at Walgreens?
Because she has no prospect.
They're doing separate brands for separate brothers.
No one does that. Except for Ice Planet Barbarians. Thank you for listening to Read It and Screech. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can rate, review, and subscribe.
Oh no.
We are on TikTok as @ScreecherPod. We have no money and no prospects.
That's also not true. Don't tell people that.
We have some money and few
Right.
prospects.
Why would you tell someone that?
We are heavily burdened
You
to
are
our mother.
literally- That's
You know, it's
fine.
uncouth to talk about money in front of people. If you'd like to support us, rate, review, subscribe. We are moderately burdensome to most people we encounter.